guys. Welcome to the Lovers Lounge. I am so excited. Okay. Spin-off episode for Listen to Your Single Friend. I have always wanted to talk about dating shows. I did a whole episode on Married at First Sight, and y'all seem to really enjoy it. But there's just so much out there about like the single life, but like reality TV. So like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Are You the One? Love is Blind. Are you ready for love? Love Island. It's all kind of shit. So, and specific to the Black community, there's the TV show Ready to Love that comes on Oprah's network. So this is season 4. This season, nephew Tommy is hosting these hopeful singles right here in my city, Washington, D.C., where I live. So to say that I'm excited about this is a huge understatement. I've been talking about this shit for weeks. I am so ready to clock the guys and gals. I want to see if they show up at any spots I'm familiar with in the area. Because I am local, I have also come across some tea about cast members already. So yeah, I might share that with y'all. I am going to give my thoughts and opinions on the initial casting episode, and I'm gonna throw in some predictions in there about who I think is gonna, end up together or end up connecting. And then I'll probably read some of the tea I found on the internet for y'all. But I'm your host, Jazmine Karess. So thank you so much for coming to the Lovers Lounge. I just want to start off by saying that flyer for this cast was horrible. It was so bad. It was so bad. If you haven't seen it yet, just Google it real quick. I'm not getting into editing, not yet. So I'm not gonna add it in here, but I just don't remember the cast being this old and like not as good looking. The cast flyer was just bad. For some reason, I'm thinking that this was just bad editing. Like most times, just for background for people who are newer to the show, most times the Ready to Love cast are between 30 to 50 years old. And I know that because I was about to apply for the DC one, and I know people who did apply. But you have to be 30 at minimum to apply and up to 50 years old. So people who are 30s plus, grown and sexy. In season 1, I feel like most of the people were like late 30s, early 40s, with one guy right at the 50 mark. But I don't know. They look older. Something about this cast and this flyer is ashy. And I really think that it was the portraits that they took. So I'm not going to say that I think the cast is bad looking or anything like that, but the flyer wasn't good. So I caught a glimpse of Liz and Jason from season 3. I did not finish season 2 and 3. I only finished season 1. So I'm gonna try to like go back and catch up. But they're a good, nice looking couple who I hear apparently just broke up. So they were filming this episode with nephew Tommy, I'm assuming just a month or so ago, and apparently they just broke up, which is sad. Because I ain't even got to watch that season yet. But they look young to me. So again, I'm assuming in the past they usually stay towards the late 30s, early 40s. I just feel like the people look old and washed on this flyer. And it's just like a lot of people have been talking shit, like, damn, this is the best they could do in DC. And it's just like, listen, it's some fuck shit here, but we some good looking folk. Okay. Period. Poo. So and I'll just say this. I feel like men generally are not as photogenic. I have been reverse catfished by guys, like, and that just means like a guy does not look as good. No, he looks better in person than the photos that he takes. So like reverse catfish is when a guy takes photos that are like, okay, he all right looking. And you see him in person, you're like, oh, damn, you look good. Some guys just suck at taking photos. They're not as about the ankles and the lights and stuff like that we are. And just watching so many dating shows and just seeing so many people come off these shows and looking at their social medias while they're on the show versus, when they're off. some people just look better in motion. Like some people, photos just don't do them justice. Everybody's not that fortunate to be photogenic. And I feel like a lot of times it's men. So I'm keeping hope alive. Overall, the fly of the ladies, they seem relatively attractive, but still something about this fly. Like there's one or two of them that look like they didn't really know they was going to be on TV. So I'm just kind of curious about that. And I just think that's kind of fucked up because people already been talking shit, but whatever. It's all like I try really hard not to like call people ugly or not good looking and stuff like that. So I'm very careful like with my word choice. But the ladies overall are more attractive than the men just from the flyers alone. And this is coming from like a straight woman who lives here. So I'm just praying that these are bad headshots. But let's get into it. Nephew Tommy's sitting with Liz and Jason from last season. I think his name is Jason. And they're going through the cast. So first up is Frank. Frank owns some sort of like bar beer service thing. And I think Frank is really cute. Like, you see what I mean? Some men are better in motion. So I just like, all right, already out the gate. Like, I told y'all, pictures don't always do it justice. Frank seems very sweet. He would definitely be my type in real life. Like I would be interested in Frank in real life. He could just be charming and be a slick talker. You can never be too sure. But he does seem really nice. He seems genuine. So I could see him making it kind of far. Then we have Corey, who is a 40-year-old gym owner. To me, that just means he's a meathead. That means he's superficial. He comes out the gate and it's like, oh, I'm so romantic. And to me, it's just screaming grown-up fuckboy. And one thing that bothers me about Ready to Love, about the show in general, and the fact that the cast are older than me, it's just like, am I still gonna have to deal with this bullshit in a few years? Like, take me out the fucking game, coach. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, it is so frustrating watching this show because there's always one fuck boy, and it's just like, women 10 years, 15 years from now are still gonna have to be dealing with the bullshit that I'm dealing with. No, take me out the game, please. So, Ready to Love can basically be a little bit triggering to me for that reason. He admits to copying and pasting while he's online dating. And I don't like that shit. I can tell. I've been online dating for a long time, so I can tell when a guy is copying and pasting. And he said that he's not that good at second dates, so the goal is really just to get them on the first date, which just seems like he's trying to hit it and quit it. For Corey, in some shots, he looks attractive, but he kind of got some big ass ears and like looks dorky sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, he's fit, definitely fit, but he's slim. He's kind of lanky, like not really my type. He's like slim. And then he just goes on to say, like, of his deal breakers, when a woman let herself go, that's a deal breaker, which is his right. That's his preference. Obviously, he's a gym owner and into fitness. I wouldn't expect anything less from him, but I also called it with him being superficial just straight out the gate. I personally think he's going to be the show villain. According to him, I have 6 figures, 6 feet, and a 6-pack. So he thinks he is just every woman's dream when really he's a fucking nightmare. And I could just tell that just from 30 seconds. My guess, my prediction is that he will stay around and be gaming half the ladies on the cast. So that's just my guess. I think he's going to be the show villain. Next up, we have Phil. He's 37. He's a consultant and PR person. He said he was in a long-term relationship that didn't work out, and he has been single for a year. He did have some regrets about his deceased mom not being able to see him get married. And that tends to be a concern for people who are older. But he just says, basically having concerns and not wanting to look back at his life with regrets. He is attractive. He seems genuine to me. He seems like he really does want a partner. I personally think Phil is ready to love. And I just also really like his deep voice. Like, I like Phil. Next up is Shiloh. So I just love her name. It's such a cute name. She's cute. She's the youngest so far. We're only a couple people in, but she's 33, and the guys were noticeably like late 30s. And she said she was dating a guy for 6 months and he told her he was married, which is like, damn, sis, sorry. But I like Shiloh. She's cute. She's chill. I'm really worried about the ladies being ready for something serious. With the ladies, it's always like quality women looking for love, like just like it is in real life. And it just be the man who be on the bullshit, you know? But sometimes it's just people don't make good connections, and you know, some people are an acquired taste. So Shiloh seems cool. I like her. We'll see how far she makes it. Courtney is next. She is 30, and immediately I'm just like, why are the ladies on the younger side? Like, maybe they thought the men's being older meant that they would be more serious. And as we can see in Corey's case, and as I've experienced in real life, I have met and I have dated a 40-year-old fuckboy. So yes, I don't know why the guys are noticeably older, but the ladies are all young 30s so far. But it's just so far. I like Courtney. Courtney is like a firecracker. Like she admits to being a handful. Okay, she has some gorgeous natural hair, which I love. You know, I'm team natural. She has like big ass hair. She's really pretty. She is a mom, no longer with her child's father. Because of her age, I'm not sure if she's really about something serious, but she did say she likes older men, which is going to work for her with this cast because most of the cast is fucking old. So she got it. I don't know if she's looking for a sugar daddy, what her situation is. She's only a year older than me. So Courtney's cute. I just don't know if this is it for Courtney, but she did talk about with her ex, you know, I guess they had their baby or they got serious around the time she was 25, and she not about that going out life. She not about that party shit no more. So we gonna see Courtney. We gonna see. I got my eye on her. I like her because she seems fun. Like I would hang out with Courtney in real life. Hey girl. Camille is 42. She's an educator. She is a really good looking sister. Like she's really nice looking. She seems fun. And then she goes on to say that she doesn't take herself too seriously, which is why her students love her. Then she goes on to say that she has a bad habit of being a Black widow and committing to men and then dumping them. So I'm like, damn, Camille, like we already got Corey the fuck boy. Camille kind of giving me trash. She says she's been engaged 3 times. And it's like, Camille, girl, I cannot take you serious. Come on. And so Camille is 42. And I'm just like, girl, you know, like, so it seems like we got some fuck girls in the batch too. Like, she says she's ready to settle down, but I do not believe her. I like Camille. I think she's very gorgeous, but I do not believe that she is ready to love. Camille, she said verbatim, I get men into my web and then I just break up with them. And it's just like, you know, damn, sis. I mean, goes, but like, not really. Like, go ahead, sis. I don't think she's ready to love. We're going to see what happened with her. Cornelius is 39. He's an electrical engineer. He said he wanted to date to be married. He is super into church. He's very spiritual. He used words like discernment and dating intentionally and all the buzzwords that somebody who grew up in church is going to say. He said his parents have been married for 38 years, and this can be a red flag. And the reason I say this is because like men who have parents who have been together for a very, very, very long time can be good to date or they can be bad to date. And the reason I say that is sometimes they are looking for fucking perfection and they idolize their parents' marriage. You are not going to have the same exact marriage as your parents, you know? And so on the flip side, they have hopefully experienced, just because people have been together for 40 years don't mean they had a good marriage, but ideally these guys have experienced a healthy marriage and they've seen that and they'll be able to replicate that or, you know, practice that in real life. So it can go either way with guys who have parents that have been married for a really, really long time. He did say he would attempt to abstain on sex and he was heavy on the attempt. He's a Southern boy. I'm not gonna lie, I did pick up on a little bit of gay vibes at first. Don't be mad at me, y'all. It's DC. It is what it is. We love everybody. Love is love, baby. But he is a Southern boy, and Southern boys just be having accents. So it just, it is what it is. But he seems nice. He seems nice. So we will see with Cornelius. Moomin is next. She's 36. Moomin is stunning. Like the ladies are really, really pretty. They're very good looking. She's a singer and she is spiritual. And so right off the back, I'm like, oh, Cornelius is spiritual too. So I already see what the producers were doing here, what the casting directors were doing, because she's very spiritual and so is Cornelius. But I will say, just going back to him for a second, he seems a little like picky and like if you're dating a guy who's like into the church, they can be very picky and they can be what I call like church judgy. So I don't know. He seemed to give me a little bit of that vibe just with his heavy emphasis on his faith. I'm interested to see how he's going to interact with the ladies. One thing Moomin did say, though, is that she is not having sex till marriage. So I'm like, well, Cornelius said he would want to abstain, but he did not. Well, I guess does abstain mean until marriage, or can it? I feel like when you say abstain, it can have a time limit. Like I'll abstain until we've been together for a year or whatever the case may be. So he's willing to wait, which I think would be good for Moomin. But she said she waited until marriage. So I'm interested to see how that one works out. Go ahead, girl. I each just the one from the film promo flyer that was kind of interesting, like looking to me. She is a hair salon owner, so just got this insane style, very tatted up, got the blonde hair. I think it makes sense that she's a hair salon owner, because she's just really, really quirky and she's just out there. She is 38 and she was married for 11 years and has 2 kids. She is a little hood. She says she likes thugs, but she says she's open to a more quiet, sensitive guy. She is the only one of the cast that gives me born and raised in DC. Like, she is probably the only one. Some about her just gives me DC girl vibes. I'm very, very curious to see where this cast actually lives. Because that's been some beef that folks have had with this cast, or just when people say this stuff is in DC, it's like, is it really in DC or is it in the outskirts? So yeah, but Aisha, she's a little rough around the edges, but that's okay. She seems like a fun girl, and at least in my opinion, she seems like the only person who actually is from DC. I wish that they would have made people say exactly where they were from, but whatever. Next up is Walter. He's 46. He seems chill. He said he's a reformed thug. I would not have gathered that just from looking at him, because I don't know, he just seemed kind of clean cut. So, but I like that. He said he's a reformed thug. And he does not look like he's closer to 50 than he is to 40. So good looking guy. It was a sad moment in his kind of intro, because he talked about how he was married and his wife died. And he became a widow at 28. She died a year after they got married. So he does, basically admit to wilding out. And he's 46 now. So I'm just curious if he's ready to settle down again. He might be. I mean, obviously that's super, super traumatic and sad. But it was almost 18 years ago when he lost his wife. So he did say he has been in relationships again and he's gotten close to marriage. Or I don't think he's been engaged, but he said he's gotten close to being married again. I'm curious to see what's up with him. I can't put my finger on him just yet, but definitely sad that he was a widow so young. But I'm curious to see what his real MO is. Next up is Zadia, I think is how you pronounce her name. She's a personal trainer. She's 35. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe her and Corey can hit it off because they're both into fitness. I can see like some good collabs between them. He's a gym owner at minimum. I'm a business gal, so I always got my business brain on. She did definitely tout the whole I'm a boss girl thing. So I hope she ain't I'm an independent Black woman type of girl, but she definitely said he got to handle a boss. But Harry Corey, I'm thinking a business perspective, but they could be a little bit of a power couple if Corey wasn't such a fuck boy, because they're both in that arena together. together, but I don't want any woman dealing with Corey, but maybe him and Zadia can do some fitness shit together, and they're local. So I'm gonna find out what gym Corey owned, and I'm gonna find out where Zadia be training folks, because I want to I want to meet them. I want to see what they got going on. She did say her love language is talking shit, and I like her. She's cute. She seems fun. I think all the girls seem really fun. Like I could kick it with them. The thing about that shit talking thing, though, like everybody's not like that. And she needs a guy that is not too sensitive about the shit talking. And I could just say that with experience as a fellow shit talking girl. Like, you want someone who is not too sensitive to the shit talking, but you also want someone that won't take it too far. Because some men will go back to back with you, but like, you taking it too far now. Don't be talking about my mom. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. So that it is hard finding that balance. And you know, hopefully that's something that she can find, like somebody she can hit it off with that won't take offense to the things that she says, but also won't, you know, take it too far. So Sabrina's next. She is 45 and a fashion designer. She seems extra, but like not in a bad way. Extra is not necessarily like a bad thing, but she just seems kind of, you know. She's a fashion designer, so I guess having some flair to her personality is to be expected. My main takeaway from Sabrina was that she said she can't do little dicks no more, and I was just like, girl, what? Like, same, sis. But something about Sabrina made me think she looked crazy. I don't know what it is. She seems fun, but something, I just get an inkling that Sabrina might be crazy. Like, just a little bit off her record, just a smidge. Like, she got most of her marbles, but like just a little bit. Next up is Dante, I think it's pronounced. He is 38. He is a deputy supervisor, and I don't know what the fuck that means. Does that mean he's a cop? Or that might mean that he works, I think that's a title at the Capitol. Like, I think that's a government title, actually. I don't know what he does, but I wouldn't necessarily say he was cute, but I would say that he's got like mad sex appeal. Like all the photos that they show, actually in the photos, he was fine, but like he was not fine in motion. Like in the confessional, the guy in the confessional and the guy in the photos look like two different guys. So low-key, he was giving me a little bit of catfish vibes, but definitely a sexy guy. You know, people, you don't have to think someone's cute to think that they're sexy. Like he got mad sex appeal. Then this nigga go on to say, he got 3 kids and 3 baby mamas. Ghetto, next. Carrington, he seems to be the youngest guy. He is 33. His intro, he's like, I'm into the nightlife. I'm like a restaurateur in that arena. And then they list him as a marketing firm CEO. So what does that mean? That means that nigga is a club promoter. And immediately I'm like, even with, maybe it's because I'm from here, but like all club promoters look and act the same, and they always wear those fucking blazers that are like velvet and purple. And I'm just like, this nigga is a club promoter. So I don't think he's serious at all. He is the youngest guy in the cast. He's 33. I hated that he was the youngest because he actually seems to be on some young boy shit. I think he might need another year or two to mature. He is a part of that nightlife, so he definitely needs a woman who's confident and secure and, you know, just not concerned with silly stuff. Because like men whose jobs are in the streets like that, they're major flirts, and in my opinion, they can't be trusted. And child, I don't see it for Carrington. Tyrone is 44. He said something about the military, so I can't tell if he's a vet or still in the military. But he's doing cyber work. He is giving me fear of commitment right off the bat. His parents were married for 20 years, and he's like, well, most of it wasn't real. So I'm like, damn, what the fuck does that mean? And then he said that like he has an idea of what he wants his wife to be, but he tries to be open, which to me says that he does not try to be open, because why would you, like, what are you trying to say? Like, well, I have an idea of what I want my wife to be, but I try to be open. To me, that just screams you got a very set idea on what you want your woman to be, and you don't be trying to be open at all. And then he goes on to talk about his mom and how she had men like come in like in and out the house, I guess, and he was a kid. And he says verbatim, like his mom was out there, and this led to a distrust in women. And I just want the record to show that I be fucking knowing, because as soon as he came up, I was like, he afraid of commitment. I could tell, like just out the first line that he said. So he claims that he has addressed his childhood traumas and that every woman is not his mom. Baby definitely got some mama issues. He claims that he has dealt with them. We will find out. I am not too sure. I personally don't trust it, Hunty. Lamont is 44 and he looks like an old pimp. Lamont is so dorky looking. He said he got married young at 22. He said he's been dating but just wasn't ready. He's not super cute to me. He's giving me old school pastor and deacon. I'm not too interested in Lamont. And I didn't have any major takeaways from him. Carrie is 38. Carrie's cute. I like her personality. She gives me warm energy. I would hang out with her. She seems like an older sister type. Like I would absolutely hang out with Carrie. She seems like she gives it to you real, but like in a loving way. She did say she got married very young at 21. And then she says, and I'm gonna read this verbatim, dating in DC, you won't have a hard time getting a date, but they are looking for a good time or a hangout buddy. Girl, she sees me and I see her. It's so ghetto out here. And she did say she's dating intentionally. So I feel for you, girl. But she's absolutely right. It is not hard to get a date. It's not hard to be dating in the DMV. There's plenty of people to be dating, but people be on bullshit. I feel you, Carrie. Next up was Libba. And she was also married. She's 44. She's cute. She has really good cheekbones. I have good cheekbones too, but she has really good cheekbones. So that was one of the first things that I noticed about her. She said that short men are a lot of work and she wants a tall guy. She didn't mention how tall she is, but fair. Again, just like Corey, you're allowed to have your preferences. She also kind of reiterated what Carrie said about being in DC and dating in DC is competitive. And she says she's competing with girls with big booties. Girl, me too. Girl, same. She was like, dang, you got to compete with all these girls and they got big old butts and I don't. Girl, we just be out here with our little booties, okay? So she gives me a spunky vibe though. I am curious to see how she is with men. She gives me a very spunky like energy. Next up is Naeem. It's Nai''am. Very beautiful name. I certain I didn't pronounce it right. He's 40, a program manager. I don't like his teeth, but he got a really nice body. I don't really like him though, because like he just seems to have a lot of opinions on like what I consider women's stuff. He don't like makeup. He grew up around women who don't wear all of that. He don't like weave and all that stuff. And every time guys do shit like that, oh, can't y'all just be natural? I'd be like, show me your Instagram. Let me see. So, on Instagram, it'll show you like posts you've liked in your settings. Every time men say some dumb shit like that, I'm just like, let me see the post you've liked on Instagram. I promise you, it's girls with makeup and weave. So just stay out of women's business. Like, he gives me like annoying vibes. He just seems like he might be too rigid. And I kind of see why he's single already. He's giving me very picky vibes. So I don't know about him unless he's willing to be a little bit more open minded. I don't see him lasting very long, because I am certain every lady on that first episode is going to have makeup and have her hair done in some sort of weave or protective style. Everybody's not going to show up with the natural hair, which is fine. And I feel like Black women should be allowed that versatility. I actually love that about us, that we can show up with our natural hair one day and tomorrow got a wig, late, and got our face beat or sometimes don't. Like, but I can't stand when men get on that whole, well, I want to see who you really are. I don't like that mask. Makeup can only do so much, guys. Most of us are not getting our makeup done professionally. It can completely alter our faces. Like, men are just so fucking dramatic. So I don't know. I don't know about him because he giving me picky vibes. So if he don't get over that bullshit, he gonna have a hard time here. Last up is Tashia. She has big boobs that are big, just like mine. I like Tashia already, and not because she is also a captain of the big titty committee, but I just like her. She said that she likes guys that are medium ugly, and that just had me hollering. Like, I don't mind an ugly, cute guy either, but she said that, oh, medium ugly guys will treat you the best. I don't believe that. I have not gotten treated great by ugly cute men, so I don't agree with sis on that. Like, ugly guys will fuck you over, medium guys, whatever. But I really, really like her though. She's really, really funny. Like, I like her personality, and like, I'm not gonna lie, she reminds me of me. Like, something about her reminds me of myself. Like, and she just talked about, wanting a provider, and she didn't give me any like pause personality wise. She just talked about wanting a provider and all that good stuff. I like her. I'm rooting for her. So far, she's my favorite girl, and Frank is my favorite guy. So that's where I stand right now. That was just the casting episode. So the main show is getting ready to come on, and I'm going to follow up with the episode about that specifically. But this is the first show of the Lovers Lounge. I'm super excited. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Let me know what you think. Let me know what other shows you want me to review. I will try to watch them all. But please come back next time so you can hear about my thoughts on the first episode when the cast meets each other. Bye, guys.